Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. We all make the wrong choices sometimes, but today's time to get back on the horse. It's time to get back on the wagon if you've fallen off. Because remember, your choices determine your health, and it doesn't matter about the past. Okay, that's the good news. Today is a brand new day. You want to focus on today. That's your gift. And always realize that your best days are still ahead. Today we're going to talk about choices, talk about the things that really matter when it comes to your health. It comes down to the basics. And don't forget, on this show also, you can call in. And so the number's always right there. Call us. You can text us. Get on social media. You can DM us, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. TikTok, whatever you're into, whatever you want. We're on all the platforms. And we just want to be here for you each and every day. But your choices, man, your choices really matter. And when it comes down to our health, it really is great because our body's regenerating every single day. And what that means is that each day old cells are dying off and new cells are forming. So we get a brand new body about every year. Some organ systems take a little bit longer, up to 7 years. But the good news is that, for example, they say, science says that if you were to be smoking for a long time, which a lot of people have, and you decide that you want to quit, you can take an amino acid called L-taurine. Okay, it's always good to use. They found in the research that it helps to rebuild lung tissue. But the body naturally will rebuild the lungs in about a 7 to 8 year period. Now think about that. Let's say you smoked for a long time and just made really bad choices. That's okay. There's a lot of marketing around that for a while. And let's say that you decide to just quit, which I hope you do. and then you decide, hey, I really want my body to regenerate, like Doc says here on the show. Guess what? It will. If you give it time, science has told us and shown us in studies that the body will regenerate. These organ systems, the lungs can regenerate. Now, hopefully, you don't get to the point where there's lung cancer, and that is very high. I mean, lung cancer is the number one cancer there is right now with all the cancers. It goes lung cancer number one, then colon cancer, and then it goes down the line, okay? So you want to do everything you can to really do what you can to get the body to regenerate. So we see your calls coming in. I'm going to jump to those in just a moment. But that's really what I want to hit on that big time. Your choices matter. And here's the deal. A lot of times we get stuck in what we did in the past, right? But just remember that the past is behind us and focus on what you can do right now, because right now is all that matters. Right now is all you have in the palm of your hand. The greatest gift we were given is the ability to choose. And I'm telling you, that's one of the greatest things we can do every single day to make our health better. So let's jump in and let's go to Cecilia. Hi, Cecilia. Welcome to the show.
According to my time, I don't know what time you'll come through, but I'm wanting to suggest taking coconut oil, 2 tablespoons per day, which is quite a lot of oil. It would be icky just to do one after the other. And I don't have any way to cook because I live in an assisted living with only a microwave oven, and that's the only way. So how would he suggest me taking that oil in order to get the amount that he's recommending?
Yeah, so
it's kind of icky just to take 1 tablespoon and then the other, or even to take one alone is bad enough.
Yeah, so when it comes down to the oil, coconut oil is great, and it can be icky. It depends on how you take it. I like to either cook with it or put it in some form of smoothie. Now, I know you got the microwave, and that's like the only thing, but let's get you like one of those bullet blenders. If you get one of those, you can put some protein powder in with some water or some coconut or almond milk, either one, and then also take a tablespoon or teaspoon of coconut oil, put it in there, blend all that together, and it works great. So it's a great way to get your coconut oil in. But, I'll tell you, the easiest way to do it is to cook with it. Now, if you microwave, let's say that you have vegetables, which I hope you can get like a hot plate, which would be really better than microwaving all your foods because it's just a lot better for the quality of the food, the hot plates are. So if you could possibly get one of those, that'd be great. Probably, in your assisted living, that just plugs in like a microwave and you could just have a little burner there, whatever, to cook with. But if you could do that with coconut oil, it's a lot better. Okay, now remember, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, and real butter are the only oils that don't break down under heat. If you use olive oil or any kind of vegetable oil primarily, they'll break down at a certain level into trans fatty acids. And as you know, that's one of the number one cancer-causing agents that we have. So stay away. I'm not a big fan of vegetable oils as a whole. Cold olive oil, where it's not been heated, is very healthy. But when you start to heat and cook with olive oil, in my opinion, research that I've done and seen, not the best. So with coconut oil, Either cook with it, or you can, if you've only got the microwave for right now, then take your food, your vegetables, your chicken, whatever that you put in the microwave, put a spoonful over it, and let it melt as you heat everything up. Kind of stir it up, and it kind of dissipates, and you won't really taste it, and it won't have that ickiness like you're talking about. Okay, thanks so much for that call. Now you can always call. Just like she did. Our lines are full right now, and we're going to get to you, so hang tight. But you can always call us and really get down to any kind of question that you have. A lot of people are emailing us in. They're sending their questions in that way. DM, which is a direct message as well. So all of those can be helpful, and you can reach us any way that you want to, okay? Now, let's talk about blood pressure for just a minute, because it's a question that has been coming in quite a bit, and I just want to address it. Blood pressure is one of those things that you can overcome. So I just want you to realize that just because your doctor, remember, your doctor puts you on medications for a reason. Because they can't go home and hang out with you, right? They can't go with you to the grocery store, to the gym. They can't get you out of bed. They can't push you off the couch, right? So they can't get you where they need. They need you to be managed so that they're covered. So that's why medications work so well. They can put you on lisinopril, or they can put you on, any of the medications, right? And they know that if you just take that, because of the studies and the research that's been done, that your body will pretty much self-regulate and manage. Now, they're going to tell you that you have to be on this probably the rest of your life. That's only partially true. And the reason they're telling you that is they're basing it on the fact that you don't change anything, like you don't lose weight. Do you know that if you lose, in studies, these are studies that have been done, that if you just lose 5 pounds, that it can drop your blood pressure by over 10 points. So it's a big deal. So if you're hanging around 140, 150, and you're trying to get that down, lose the weight. I mean, it's not hard to lose 5 pounds. Anybody and their grandmother or grandfather or great-grandmother can lose 5 pounds. You just have to put in the work. You have to eat the right kind of foods, just like we talk about here on the show. Follow those protocols, and you can do great. It's not that hard. Blood pressure is one of the easiest conditions like diabetes. And I say easy because it's, even though you cross the line and you have high blood pressure or you have diabetes, they're reversible. Like, we know for a fact, like I can sit here and say you can reverse high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and heart disease. It's been done. It's been done in multiple studies. Matter of fact, Dr. Dean Ornish, a friend of mine, he has done these studies. He's got the whole Ornish method. It's just amazing. The guy has put the work in out in California, and they know for a fact. We're colleagues at the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, and the work is amazing that they've done to prove that you can reverse those conditions. So your lifestyle is your medicine. Remember that. No matter what, like your lifestyle, the things you do every single day, the choices you make. So I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do to lower your blood pressure, bar none, every single time it works, no matter who you are, no matter what the genetics are, whatever. Okay, so here's some things you can do. Number 1 is start moving. We have proven exercise. And I know you're thinking, well, Doc, yeah, okay, I've heard that, but I just don't like it, whatever. Here's my answer to you. If you're over the age of 40, okay, it is a non-negotiable for you to be exercising. Period. Like, here's the bottom line. If you want to be healthy, you're going to do something every single day. Remember, if anything is worth doing, it's worth doing every day. Do you just eat once a week? Or do you eat every day? Do you sleep once a week? Or do you sleep every day? If it's worth doing, it's worth doing every day.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to AsaRx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at IntuneNetwork.com.
So make sure you start to exercise. I don't care what it is. Jump on a mini trampoline. Go walk the golf course instead of getting in the golf cart. Don't be lazy. Do something different. If all the guys are whining with their beer bellies, like start walking. And you set the example for your guys or gals or your team or whatever. Do something every day. Walk. Whatever you can do. If it's cold, don't come up with excuses. I get that all the time. Well, Doc, it's too cold where I am. It snows all the time. I'm up north in Michigan or in New York upstate, or I'm in Minnesota. Okay. They have the Mall of America, biggest mall in America, in Minneapolis. Okay, go to the mall and walk every day. It's warm. They've got the heaters on. You can find these places. So I just want to encourage you to not come up with excuses. Come up with reasons why you can be successful and not reasons why you can't. But exercise is non-negotiable. That's number one. Number two is when you're eating, a plant-based diet has been the most proven to lower blood pressure. And that's in my book. And if you go get my book right there, myfreehealthbook.com, we send it to you for free. It's a total free gift from us to you. But in that, I have a plant-based diet that you can follow. We call it the anti-inflammatory diet. And you can follow that to a T. It gives you all the tools. You can also go to asahealthclub.com. We've got it there as well. So multiple places that you can get that. But a plant-based diet, number two, is vital. Yep, cutting the meat out has been proven. Fish and eggs are what I like to stick with. I do meat every now and then. It's got to be really high quality for me to do that. But just know that a plant-based diet, if you have high blood pressure, will bring it down. It's been proven in all the studies. Okay? Number three, and this is a big one. And I know you're thinking, he's going to say lower the salt. Well, I would say that's number four. Salt's important, but remember that salt can also be important for keeping blood pressure stable. So you don't want to just totally get rid of all the salt. And the quality of salt that we take in is really, really important. Celtic sea salt with all the 68 plus minerals that come inside the Celtic sea salt, the pink sea salt, is one of the best. Now, the junk sodium that's in a lot of processed foods, we need to get rid of that. But the natural sodium that comes with all the minerals is actually beneficial to the body. So keep that in mind, that the third thing is going to be managing stress. It's a big one. And I don't care what you say. If you have high blood pressure, you have stress, period. Because the bottom line is it can be emotional stress, internal stress, whatever it is, but there's stress going on that needs to be managed. And a lot of times, it's things that you haven't even thought of. A lot of times it's things that have been there and they're suppressed, and it's your subconscious mind that's dealing with it. And if that's the case, okay, that's fine. But you got to get to a place where you can manage that. It may take counseling. It may take something. But if you're harboring bitterness, or if you're holding on to things, or unforgiveness, or you've lost things, or you've gone through tough times, look, that will always, always, always impact your health. So you've got to come up with a way to manage the stress. And it's not with drugs. It's not with alcohol. It's not with bad habits. So bad habits are not going to help that at all. So you've got to come up with a new game plan that can really, really help. But managing stress is the key for blood pressure. It just is. So you got to exercise every day, 7 days a week. Don't ever stop. 15 minutes is all you got to do. I don't need 45 minutes. I don't need an hour. You can do this. That's the thing, is you've got to realize that you can do this. Now here's the deal. This is for the guys. If you have what we call a spare tire, you know what the spare tire is, guys, right? If you get the big waistline, remember your waistline is your lifeline. And if you're over a certain amount of distance around your waist, you're asking for things like metabolic syndrome, and you're asking for blood pressure that has to come down. When you get on a plant-based diet, guess what? And you exercise on a regular basis every day, guess what's going to start to slim down? The waistline's going to come down. It has to. Every single person that we've ever worked with clinically, with our health coaches in our clinics, with our providers, everybody that had put in the work. Now, people that don't and they say they do, that's a different story. But if you put in the work, you can get the results. And when it comes down to blood pressure, remember, it's one of those conditions that you really can unravel and get your health back. And it's like that with diabetes, cholesterol. There's several that you really can. I believe these are really not, I don't like to call them diseases. I like to call them health challenges, because health challenges are always something that you can overcome in that process. And, on this show, we want to help you do that. We want to give you the tools. We want to give you the ability to be able to do that. But just remember, your body is amazing. It's regenerating every single day. So each day, old cells die off, new cells form, we get a brand new body about every year. So that's the good news. How many of you know that's good news? It's really good news. Now, I'm about to talk about some things that are going to be really beneficial to you. One of them, I'm not even going to tell you. We're just going to wait till we come back in just a moment. I'm also going to get to the calls. I know you've been waiting for me, so just hang tight, and we'll get to that. But I will tell you this, is that when it comes down to diabetes, there are some keys that need to be followed in an exact manner. And I want to tell you what those are, because blood sugar related conditions are a big deal. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. I'm so glad you're with us on this show. Look, this show's about you. It's about your health, and it's about your life. So let's talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about diabetes and give you a couple of tips on that, because diabetes, along with high blood pressure, is one of the number one health challenges that if you've lifestyled your way into it, then you can lifestyle your way out of it. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips on that. But first, I want to go to the phones and talk to Noah. Hi, Noah. Welcome to the show.
I get muscle cramps. The more I use my muscles, they just seem to really cramp up bad. And it's not just a light cramp. I mean, it's really, really bad. And I've taken every kind of magnesium and everything you can think of that anybody's ever mentioned, and I just can't seem to get rid of them. I just have to do extremely light work and not very much of it.
Yeah, so when it comes down to muscle cramps, one of the big things you've got to do, and this is ultra key in this, and this is really, really important, it's dehydration. And dehydration, you may think you're drinking enough water, and if you're taking the magnesium, there's a version you want to take. So let me go through this with you. Using electrolytes in your water is a really, really good key. And it's something that I recommend and always suggest. I do it myself every single day. So it's a multitude of electrolytes, though. It's potassium and sodium and magnesium. It's a lot of that, right? So we lose that when we sweat a lot, if we're outside a lot, if we exercise a lot, we lose those electrolytes. So I would start with your body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you want to do half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to drink 100 ounces. That's why I've got my water here. Like, I drink it nonstop all day long. I'm always got water coming in. So 100 ounces a day if you weigh 200 pounds. If you weigh 150 pounds, it's just half of that, and you do 75 ounces. That's all you have to do is put in the right amount of fluid coming in, and 9 times out of 10, the cramps will stop.
Did you know that you can listen to the AsaRx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Now, if it is a magnesium deficiency, and now here's the other thing I recommend too. I always suggest anybody getting lab work done with their physician, just to make sure that you don't have any deficiencies that might be there that are underlying that we don't know about. So it's really good to have that. So getting blood work done with your primary care physician, great way to go. If you want to do it with our health coaches, you can always reach out to us. We've got a whole team that can handle that for you. But I would look at the different minerals on lab work to see if you're deficient. But starting out with your water intake, making sure that you get enough hydration every single day, and then also your magnesium that you take, if you're taking it, magnesium glycinate is the best version to use. Okay, magnesium glycinate's the best one. It's the one that gets right into the muscle. So you can use magnesium oxide, you can use magnesium chelate. They're just not as beneficial as getting into the muscle as using that magnesium glycinate. The magnesium glycinate is the best way to go. And then the milligrams for your body weight. You know, the average male needs about 450 milligrams. Female needs about 300. You know, it just depends. But you have to play around with that. And I would get some help maybe from a health coach along those lines as well. But those are typically what you see. Now, thanks so much for that call. Now, let me talk a little bit about diabetes. I want to give you some tips to be able to help you to regulate blood sugar and to really beat this condition. Number one is to make sure, of course, that you're eating the right kind of foods, but an anti-inflammatory based diet. And every meal that you eat, you always want to think, okay, I want protein with that meal. Protein with every single meal will help stabilize blood sugar and keep the carbohydrates to more of just vegetables instead of the starchy carbohydrates. The other thing you want to look at, and this is so important with diabetes, is to make sure that you look into things like cinnamon and turmeric. Okay, cinnamon and turmeric have been shown to be very supportive with stabilizing blood sugar levels. The other thing are your fats, your healthy fats, almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados. These types of fats, when you eat them in a meal, help to stabilize blood sugar levels. So you never want to eat a carbohydrate meal just by itself. Either eat a carbohydrate with protein or with a fat, or eat a protein with a fat, and you're going to keep blood sugars levels stabilized. And the other is exercise. I know I hit on that, I harp on it a lot, but exercise is like medicine in a bottle, but you have to sweat a little bit. And if you put those two together and you do that on a consistent basis, you can win that battle. This show's all about you. It's about your health and it's about your life. Remember, it's about choices. The choices we make every single day can and will determine the kind of health you're going to have tomorrow. Lifestyle is our medicine. That is the key. The choices you make every single day. Don't worry about the genetics. The genetics are a small part, maybe 10% of this whole equation. We're learning more, and probably less than that, the more we're learning. The good news is that you are in control of you. Nobody else can take responsibility for your health but you. I mean, the doctor can't do it for you. The friends, your family members, your coworkers, your loved ones, no one can help take responsibility for your health but you. So the choices you're making every single day, they matter. And they matter more than anything else. So I want to help you today. I want to encourage you today to tell you that you can. No matter what you've been struggling with, no matter what the doctors have told you've been diagnosed with, no matter what you're struggling with, you're working on. Maybe you're trying to just lose 5 pounds. Maybe you're dealing with depression. Maybe you're dealing with diabetes or high blood pressure. Maybe you've got cancer and you're really struggling and you don't know which way to turn. This is a safe place for you. Here, we're here to encourage you, to be part of our family, to be part of a place where you can get the encouragement, the love, and the support that you need and get answers. That's what a lot of people come to us for. And you can follow us there, of course, on all our social media. You can send me a DM, a direct message. You can text me. The numbers are all, they should all be right there. And the website's got everything. But you can always reach out to us. We've got lines that are full right now. When you call in, we've got all that. But we want to be here for you every single day, and we are. And more ways than ever before. Television, radio, podcast, our own network, the Believe Health Network. You can go on any Roku device, Apple. You can go on Apple TV. You can go on Android TV. You can go on Amazon Fire TV. Gosh, there's so many of them right now. Any of those will have our network, and you can find these shows. You can find us so we can hang out together. All right, let's jump into this. We're talking about stress today. Who has no stress in their life? Nobody have stress? Yeah, I don't have any, right? You don't have any. Do you? Probably not. Now, you live the stress-free life like a monk, right? No stress, right? So I think monks might have some stress too, somehow, some way. There's got to be a little bit there somewhere. I've met a couple, and they're the most serene, laid back. It's amazing. The whole Zen thing they've got going on. It's really great. So let's talk about stress and how to manage that, because it's not stress avoidance. You can't avoid it. I mean, people try to. They use drugs and alcohol and different things to avoid a stressful situation or what's in front of them or life or whatever it is. But you can't really do that. Ultimately, you're going to wake up the next day and it's going to be staring you in the face. So I want to give you some tips and tricks today that'll really help you when you're dealing with stress and managing stress. Because the way we manage stress, that's why they call it stress management, really will determine how well we do with our health. Our health is so dependent on what we do every single day. It's on the choices that we make every single day. It really does matter. So I want to give you some tips. Number one, we're going to jump into this right now. I want to tell you what stress does. So stress is, they have different types of stress. There's what's called eustress, E-U stress. And eustress is actually good for us. Do you know that? There's actually good stress that we can have. It's the kind of stress that is about our goals. Like it pushes you. You know you need to get up and take care of the kids. You know that you got to feed them. You know that you have to get the work done for your job. You have to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? So that gets you out of bed. You may not like it, but it gets you out of bed and it motivates you and pushes you. That kind of stress right there is okay. The kind of stress that's bad is when you're really in a panic over things, or a life event happens, or something stressful, or you get angry at someone and you hold on to that. I've got a rule, okay? It's a 90-second rule. Whenever I have something happen that is stressful, that makes me angry, that ticks me off, or just doesn't go my way, or not how I planned, or something, I give it about 90 seconds. Now, sometimes I go over this, but my goal is 90 seconds. I give myself 90 seconds to just whatever, and then I say, you know what? There's a passage that is said in the Bible a lot, and I really like it because it's a great life phrase that we all can use. But if you ever read the Bible, and if that's something you do or don't do, it's a kind of cool thing that it's always in there. Certain passages will start out where it says, and it came to pass. And it came to pass. You ever thought about that? And it came to pass. Whatever you've got going on in your life, I promise you, is not here to last. I promise you that whatever you're dealing with in your life or has hit your life or has come in front of you, and it has come to pass. I can assure you. Now, you're thinking, what does that have to do with my health? It has everything to do with it. Because your mental health, I would say your mental health is the number one driver for your physical health. If your mental health is messed up and the way that you think and process and the way you interpret life and people and your relationships, if your mental health is not strong, if you don't have your A game going with your mental health, the physical health is going to suffer. Because the physical health is just an an ornament, if you will, of what's going on inside your mental health. I mean, so the two go hand in hand. When your mental health is strong, your physical health gets better, period, every single time. So I would tell you that managing your stress and the way you do that is a big deal. Now, the flip side can happen. If you can get your mental health strong and you get the discipline, and let's say you got to lose 40 pounds or 50 pounds or whatever it is, then those two, again, are going to work hand in hand. But listen, what's the key? If a person has the discipline and they start to exercise, start to eat healthy, get rid of the bad habits, get rid of the smoking and the drinking and the bad food and the junk food, guess what? Where did it start? It started right there. So the mental game is where everything begins. If you can win that, you can win everything. That's how you win stress management. It's not that you can avoid it. It's that you have to understand that with stress, regardless of how you deal with it, or regardless of what hits you, you got to have a system. Number one is realize that it's come to pass, period. All right, number two, when you're dealing with stress management is having a coping mechanism that's healthy. For me, exercise. I do it every single day. It's where I take everything. I take everything into that gym, and I lift weights, and I lift hard, and I go hard, and that's the place where I take everything. It's almost like my sanctuary outside of the sanctuary where I attend church. It's my other sanctuary. And it's my place where I go in and I can really lay it all on the line. I can work as hard and sweat as hard and push as hard as I need to. It's a place for me, okay? You got to find that place for you. Might be the basketball court. Might be a walk at a certain park with a lake that you can just let everything out. It might be something, but it needs to be something healthy and not liquor and not alcohol and not smoking and not, that's not going to help anything. You're going to make it worse. So you've got to find that thing. It's not food either, junk food. You get stressed out, you go to pizza. Now, I get that that happens every now and then, but that can't be your go-to. And most people, when they get overweight, that has become their go-to. So you have to get to a place where you realize that, hey, I've got to create some new habits, an outlet. So realize it's come to pass. Number two, you've got to have a stress outlet that you go and take your things to on a daily basis. And number three is developing good habits. Because when you're eating healthy, science has shown us that as we eat healthy, as we eat the right kind of foods, the anti-inflammatory based diet, equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and vegetables, and good healthy fats, things like almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados. When we eat the right kinds of foods and the right combinations on the on a daily basis, then we know that the body handles stress much better. And guess what? The other one, you know what I'm going to say, is exercise. Exercise is key. Managing stress, that's why I go to the gym. It's why I pick it. So whatever your activity is it has to be something where your body's moving at some level. I don't care what it is, walking, running, jogging, riding a bike, something. But you can't just sit. I promise you. That will not work at all. You have to get up and get moving, okay? I know you can do this. Stop the complaining and the whining and the reasons why. That all has to stop too. You're not going to get anywhere. If I say do this, or this is a good option, or this is a good direction to go, we know it, the studies and all that, and you're like, well, but you don't know where I live and you don't know my situation, it doesn't matter.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Asa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Everybody's got stuff. I give you 101 reasons why I can't. But my brain, I have conditioned every single day to come up with reasons why I can. Why I can go to the gym. Why I can get up 30 minutes earlier. Why I can, even though I've got 1,800 things to do today, why I can still get to the gym. I can. So So I've got 3 sayings that I use every single day, and I don't waver from these. And when that stupid voice in my head starts to tell me that you can't, the reasons why you can't, I say 3 things. Number 1 is I can, I will, and I must. Those are my 3 phrases. No matter what. When it comes down to my goals, things I have to do, I can, I will, I must. That's the key. So I want to encourage you to have your system when it comes to stress management. Have your system of what you do and what you're going to do when it comes to managing that stress. It's a big deal. 9 times out of 10, if you'll just focus, you can do really, really well with that. Okay? Let's go to Lucas on the phone. Hi, Lucas. Welcome to the show.
I'll be 80 years old in 6 months. I got a couple issues. I'm prostate enlarged, which you may have heard of the new way that you can not be urinating all the time. It's called Urolift. They put it like a plastic fork into your prostate that opens up and lets the urethra to have some looseness, so you'll be able to urinate with a longer empty your bladder. I take about 21 vitamins or more. I do take some prescription for high blood pressure, and I had a heart stent in August. But I'm getting along better. But I would like to know. But I'm getting some water retention and swelling in my ankles, which I'm taking B6. But they said that I got some dandelion, and I'm taking a blood thinner. So said you shouldn't take the dandelions because it makes you clot in the blood thinner, so you don't clot. So could you give me some information now? I need to get rid of this bowel fat.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I tell you, they all kind of go hand in hand. I mean, what you have going on is very typical, and you see it together quite a bit. The prostate, that procedure is really, really good, and a lot of guys get great results from it. It's a good procedure. If you haven't looked at supporting the prostate for a couple of ways, number 1 is to look at progesterone. I would encourage you to get a blood test done with your doctor. Have them check your progesterone levels. A lot of times, as we age, estrogen goes up and progesterone goes down. When that happens, it causes major issues with the prostate, and that can cause the prostate to swell. It's something that's not looked at a lot. So I would ask them to do those 2 things. Check your progesterone levels. The other thing, before you get the procedure done, the other thing is to look at things like pumpkin seed oil, saw palmetto, and zinc. Zinc is a high deficiency that people have when they have swollen prostates. And most men don't get enough zinc. Like, we just don't. So getting enough zinc in your diet is going to be really, really important. I would check your zinc levels and make sure they're not just for some reason too low. So I would get all of that checked out. Now, the other thing that's really important in this, with the blood pressure and the swelling and the fluids and the kidneys, I would get started. I mean, it's so important for your eating habit. Look into a plant-based diet. I would encourage you to look at that. Plant-based diet, anti-inflammatory based diet. Your food is your medicine more than anything else. It really is it's the gold star and the factor that really can come in and make such a shift in your life and in your body. It's not just a pill or a supplement. Like, it really is the foods that you're eating every single day. That's what matters more than anything when it comes down to this. So I would encourage you to look at that and look into things like, I mean, I know you're talking about dandelion and these kind of things, but look into getting enough water every single day, making sure that you're drinking enough fluids every single day, half your body weight in ounces of water. Provided there's no kidney issue, that's okay. And looking at things like there's arginine and citrulline together that makes nitric oxide, okay? These are 2 amino acids. A lot of people have different formulas. You can go to our website. We've got a whole formula there that helps to support this nitric oxide, which we know lowers blood pressure. I mean, there was a Nobel Peace Prize won for that research because of that. So we know there's things out there that does it, but I'm telling you, your exercise, your eating habits, your lifestyle habits, that all matters. That prostate thing you've got going on, I would get that looked at and make sure that it's not something else underlying. It's not. I realize that age plays a factor, but many, many times it is also nutritional deficiencies. As a matter of fact, there have been some experts in the past, present, and future that say that nutritional deficiencies are the root cause of most every health challenge that we face today. Remember, if the body's not getting something that it needs, then it begins to break down. And when it begins to break down, that is the thing that we have to really watch out for. And the body breaking down, all you got to do is intercept that. And you can give the body back what it needs by foods, by putting the right things in. And guess what? The body responds no matter what you are. 8 years old or 80 years young, your body is amazing. Look, this is always about you. This show is always about you. It's about you making the right kind of choices every single day. I want to see you win more than anything else. Look, you have a potential on the inside, and every choice that you make every single day helps you either get closer to that or further away from that. And I know that you can reach your potential and become the best version of you. That's what this show is all about. It's really not hard. Once you start switching over into that world, it actually is great. The digestive system works like a champ, and the body starts to work better. But the research is very, very strong. So I would look into that. There's great resources. If you go to our website, I've got resources. Our health coaches are always there to help you and encourage you and show you the way. But I would look that direction. So remember this. It's not about the magic pill, the magic root bark that they found in the South Africa that's supposed to cure everything. Look, there's some different elements out there that can help and be supportive. But it's the things that you do every single day. It's your eating habits. It's stress management. It's getting enough rest and sleep. You with me? It's those things that add up in this huge health account, like a bank account that we have, that can make the biggest difference. And I know this by you just sending the email in, that your mom has got one of the greatest cheerleaders by her side. And I thank you for sending that, because I know it's going to help her and many others.
You know you could listen to the AsaRx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora. For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to AsaRx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the AsaRx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.